Hi, folks. Andrew here, Top Fitness Strategies. I am the face who runs the place, and we're here with a great interview going on today. Hey, but you know what this is all about? Fitness over 50, top fitness strategies, feel better, look better, gain some confidence. That's what we are all about. All right. And as always, you know, I have sponsors for the show, and my sponsors are products that I have, of course. Why? Because that's the way I do things. Okay. And this week is going to be the Fitness 101 ebook. And what I did and what I do is I have a weekly column I write in my local newspaper, and this is not online anywhere. And I answer questions that the writers send in to me, health and fitness related questions, as only myself and Top Fitness Strategies can do. So I compiled a bunch of these and put them into the book. So it's yours. Check it out. topfitnessstrategies.com. Fit 101 /Fit 101. I'll link to it in the description. Okay, so here we go. Today's guest, I'll bring her on right now, is Amy Wilson, the nutrition coach pharmacist. Amy is a board certified geriatric pharmacist, a certified fitness professional, and a certified nutrition coach using the Faster Way to Fat Loss platform. Amy's mission is to empower and equip her clients and take charge of their health, to take charge of. You know, Amy, you're going to find that I messed this up. All that everyone watching and listening right now is laughing at me. Can't you ever read one of these straightforward without messing up? All right. Amy's mission is to empower and equip her clients to take charge of their health and find balance in their lives. I got through all that. And welcome aboard to Top Fitness Strategies, Amy Wilson.
Thank you for having me. It's an extreme pleasure to be here.
You say that now. All right. You wait a little bit here. So, all right. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a lot of fun today. Amy and I were talking before we came on, and we are almost like two peas in a pod. We had the same equipment malfunctions before we came on here, and we talk a lot of the same language. We have a lot of the same clientele, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And I will tell you right now, Amy, you are 1,000 times more refined than I ever will be. Keep that in mind, okay? I like to have fun and joke around on this, so feel free to computer slap me all you want. That's fine. Okay. So, all right. So let's get started the old fashioned way. Tell everybody who you are and where you come from and what you do.
My name, I have to use my middle initial because I have two very common names. So my name is Amy K. Wilson. Amy and Wilson are extremely popular. So I'm a board certified geriatric pharmacist. I have been in the fitness industry since I was 17. And that was a long time ago. That was back in the 80s with the big hair and the leotards and the leg warmers, all, Jane Fonda era time. And then, yes, I'm also a certified nutrition coach, and I do use a platform called the Faster Way to Fat Loss. I have been in the fitness industry, like I said, since I was 17, and things have changed a lot. Things that we knew, that we thought we knew, are so wrong. A lot of things that we've done to our bodies have put us here, and in perimenopause, menopause, in osteoporosis. So my mission is that to help those of us, or I guess our second chapter, our midlife, Gen X, baby boomers, whatever you go by, is to make sure that we are living the best life, being healthy. Because the last thing I want you to do is be in one of my nursing homes. That is my mission, is to keep you out of my nursing homes.
Well, good. When you say your nursing, do you own nursing homes?
So I am a long-term care consultant, and where I work is in nursing homes. And it's where I would say that my nutrition, my fitness, and my pharmacy has all kind of blended and melded together, because not only in my journey of fitness and finding where I needed to be and losing inches and getting stronger, I was also at the same time noticing that my residents and people coming into the nursing homes is younger and younger and younger. I should not be seeing 40 and 50-year-olds in my nursing homes. And that's what I'm seeing. Wow. And a lot of it is lifestyle. I mean, a lot of it is lifestyle issues, diabetes, having renal disease, having limbs, taken off, amputations, strokes, heart attacks, a lot due to how they treat their bodies, what they put in their bodies. And a lot of times it's, sometimes what we don't know actually does hurt us.
I 1,000% agree. And for those who don't know, I also teach at a local high school. And the longer I'm there, the more and more I see, and I hate to even say this word, but the kids are getting larger and larger every year. The
We're
younger, larger and larger, and the way they eat, the nutrition is outrageous. I mean, I thought we had bad diets when
Mhm.
we were like back then, but oh my word, it's just we can get into this, and that could be a whole topic of
That
its.
could that could be a soapbox.
We're here to talk about us older folks. That's what we're
There
here
we
to
go.
talk about today. All right, now you, I laugh at this. I love this. It said you are a board certified geriatric pharmacist. Now,
Yes.
is this an actual thing, or did you just throw in the word geriatric because it sounds really cool?
No, it's actually a thing. It's and a lot of people think, well, a lot of people really think that pharmacists are just what you find at Walgreens or CVS,
Hmm?
that kind of thing. I did that too. That's one form of pharmacy. There's also what's called board certified certification. So I have a certification in older people, geriatrics. There's pediatrics. There's oncology. There's about, I think, seven or nine different board certified modalities. I'm in long-term care. I'm in nursing homes. I deal with the geriatric population, which is about, they say around 55, 60, which I'm like, no, because I'm almost in that group. So I don't like the word geriatric, but that's what we use right now. So that's what I do. Yeah. So it's not a term I just decided to put it behind my name. I had to take an exam.
Okay.
It was one hell of an exam.
It's funny we bring that up because just this week I'm helping some of the kids at school produce resumes, and
Mhm.
and I promise you this is going to tie in a little bit here. So in the process, I showed them my resume, the resume I had,
Back in
several
the
years.
day.
Yeah, back. It wasn't really back in the day, just a few years back. And
Mhm.
long story, I'm not going to bore you with that either. But one of the skills that I have, or two of the skills I have just for fun skills, I have ISSA certified
Yeah.
International Science Association. I said that's my fitness thing.
Yeah.
And also, I have something called a senior fit certification. They're looking at me funny. I said that's so I can train old people on how to be fit and healthy. They said, "Oh, so you can train yourself, Mr. P?" I'm like, "Ha ha ha! F is function." Yeah, one of those kind of things. Yeah. So when you say geriatrics, I anyways, I thought that was
Yeah.
funny. Okay, all right. So as I'm doing my research on you a little bit, I'm going through your blog, going through past interviews and things of that sort. I wanted to come up. I came up with a few questions I wanted to get on to talk to you about. The first one being, and I absolutely love this, and this is an article you just put out recently. It says why too much cardio may be causing midlife weight gains. I
I have this conversation on a daily basis.
yeah, I talked about this quite a bit too. So tell us about that. Tell us about the article. Tell us about why too much cardio may be causing midlife weight gain.
Well, I won't it doesn't matter if it's midlife or the thing is that things have been what we have been taught, and that's where it comes down to our belief system and what we have all been taught. We have been taught that cardio is king. Back in the day, in the 80s, everybody started running. You got to do cardio to lose weight. And we have not dropped that belief system yet. And we keep thinking it. And what I tell my clients is if it was working, you wouldn't be here. Just going to tell you that. It's the Stairmaster, the treadmill, doing constant cardio. You wonder why it's not working. Well, here's what happens, especially females. I don't see it as much in men because men will pick up the weights. A lot of women are afraid to get quote unquote bulky. So they
Mhm.
think cardio is going to lean them out. The problem is that most women my age, 50s, 40s, our belief system is that the more cardio, the better. You're going to lean yourself out. The problem is you're not eating enough. When you are not eating enough, I hate to tell you this, but all the things that you think that you're burning fat when you're on those machines or going out for that run because you're going to lean out, no, not happening. You are using muscle.
Mhm.
That's all. You're using muscle. Muscle is the preferred source of fuel for your body when you're not eating because it's the quickest source of fuel. It's not fat. Fat takes longer. Fat has to have the right environment. And that means you have to be eating, and that means you have to have muscle. And when you don't have either one because all you're doing is doing cardio, you wonder why you're starting to put on inches and you're not leaning out is because now your body has to protect itself. It
Mhm.
slows its metabolism down. It slows metabolism down because you're using muscle for fuel. And now getting bigger when you can't understand because you're doing all the things that you've been told that you need to do. Doctor's office will say, well, you just need to do more cardio. Not.
Mhm.
And you are getting, I hate saying fatter, but you're getting wider, bigger, increasing more inches and seeing more body fat because of all the excess cardio.
I 100% agree. Now, I do want to preface this, and if I'm out of line, just once again, computer slap me and we'll go from there. I say you have to put some sort of tension on your muscles, whether it's lift weights, exercise bands, dynamic resistance, what have you. But if all you can do is go for a walk or ride a bike or something, do it.
Do it. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And
Absolutely. Yeah.
saying do something else is
Yeah.
along with it. Am I correct with that?
Yeah. So what we see is that usually it's the people who are trying to do the extreme, trying to lose the weight. Like if I have someone who's brand new or someone who's just trying to get back in shape, go for a walk. Walking is the best thing you can do in the world because you're going to use all your muscles when
Mhm.
you're walking. What I am talking about is somebody who thinks that they're trying to get into their skinny jeans or get ready for a class reunion or a wedding or a vacation and thinks that all they need to do is cardio, or they're trying to lose weight and they're scared to pick up any kind of weight because they're afraid they're going to bulk. And what I tell anybody is that, yeah, start picking up the 3 pounds, start picking up the 5 pounds. Before you know it, you're going to be picking up 10 to 15 pounds. If
Mhm.
you've never been on a workout program before and you don't know how to lift weights, get with somebody.
Yeah. Oh,
It's a good investment to make.
absolutely. Now it's funny you mentioned getting bulky because I'm sure you get this more than I get this. But women all the time, women, ladies, all, I hear this quite a bit. I don't want to lift weights because I don't want to get bulky. I look at
Mhm.
it and I said, first of all, let's stop and think about this. You feel you're going to get bulky. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you're feeling is wrong. What I am going to say is what you see when you see a woman with bulky muscles is
Mhm.
somebody who spends 10, 12 hours a day in the gym and they're purposely trying to do that. And the ones that have great big muscles, there are a genetic anomaly that comes once in
Yes.
a blue moon. So
Yeah.
unless you plan on spending 10, 12 hours a day in the gym, and I have some friends that are professional bodybuilders, professional figure competitors, bikini
Mhm.
models, so on and so forth. They work hard to get that physique. It's not a half hour to an hour a day at the gym lifting weights.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
So how do you basically say something similar to the ladies you talked to about that?
I do. I say, 1, the shape that you really want is muscle. That's the shape that you want, and the way to get that is the muscle. You wanna lose the body fat, you have to have the muscle. And I get, "But I don't wanna look like Arnold." I'm like, "Arnold didn't even look like Arnold without a little help." And he totally admits that in his Netflix documentary that he used steroids.
Oh,
And honestly, as we age, muscle is our fountain of youth. And I will say that over and over again. That muscle is what is going to keep you independent. It's what's going to give you the body, the look that you want. It's what's going to keep you from having osteoporosis, from falling. There are so many benefits to having muscle. And yeah, there's some things that I would actually like to have a little bit better biceps. It is hard. You like you said, they're genetic anomalies or they're getting help. So lifting weights and I'm talking, when you're first starting out, if even if it's 5, 10 pounds, you're not going to get bulky. It's just not going to happen. I had this conversation a lot and I always get oh my gosh, you're so right. I got into my skinny jeans and this is amazing that I've lost all these inches and realizing that it's muscle. I always tell people it's like, okay, if you think about muscle, think about grapefruits and oranges. Because if you have let's say you have 3 grapefruits and how big that is. And people will say, well, muscle weighs more than fat. No, a pound is a pound, but volume is different. So if you have 3 grapefruits and 3 oranges, the grapefruit is fat and the oranges are muscle. So, the amount of space those grapefruit takes is quite a bit. You think about it, that's going across your hips and everything. Now, change that to muscle, that's the oranges. So, when you think in volume and you think of inches and you think in pant size, you're going to drop that, because I hate saying weight because I don't want anybody to do scale, because I think scale is BS. Sorry, the scale, it does not. Does the scale just tells gravity. That's all the scale does, is gravity. It does not say anything. It's not your worth. It's not your happy place. If you get to this certain pound that we, females, were bad, we have this number that we think we should be, and the doors will open, there'll be rainbows and Hello Kitty and everything will be perfect. And that just it doesn't happen. And you can keep your size without starving. You can get to the size that you want by working on muscle. And I can promise you this, you will not get bulky. You'll lean out and you'll be the shape that you really truly want.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you and I are so similar with our thought process here, because when you said muscle does not weigh more than fat, I'm literally writing this down and said I have to ask her this question, because I just get so upset and so mad when I hear, especially trainers, say muscle weighs more than fat. No, it
drives me
doesn't.
nuts.
It drives me nuts too. I said, and if you're going to say that, clarify what you mean. Volume, yes. I've done several of my YouTube videos on that, and I'll have to send you one where I actually demonstrate. So I thought it was pretty funny, and I have a lot of people comment on that one. So
I did one with a peanut and a marshmallow.
I did okay. I'm going to better you on this. I did one with a 25-pound weight and a milk crate. So there you go.
Oh, perfect.
Hey, no, top that. No, okay. Yeah. All right. So you focus on let's just say middle-aged women. Okay, that's your clientele, correct?
That's a good majority. I have men too, but a good majority of mine is middle-aged women. Yeah.
This is where my question is going. So the middle-aged men versus the middle-aged women, when it comes to fat loss and gaining muscle, is there a difference in how you train them and how they work with you? First of all,
the difference is behavior, honestly. So men, I'll tell you right now, really, the men who come to me are, something's happened or they want to get in shape, and they made that decision all in. They're going to follow, they're going to do their macros, they're going to lift weights, they're going to do all the things, and they are willing to change. Women are tied to different feelings. Women are tied to belief systems and have a hard time letting that go. So a lot of my stuff, I'm a behavior certified professional too. So I'll do a lot of behavior, a lot of going through why, because I'm, and a lot of people, they need to know the scientific reason. Why are we doing this? Why are we changing this? How is this going to work? Because especially with women, I'm going to ask them to eat more. And that's been something that we've been told forever. I mean, I've just had this conversation with someone else, is that her trainer told her to eat less than 1,200 calories. She's freaking 5'9". And I'm like, that she has PCOS. Doesn't matter. I realize you have PCOS, but you still need to fuel your body. Your body's still going to react the same way it does with other energy sources. If you're not giving it energy, it's not going to be able to put out, or it's not going to be able to build muscle. So it's having women understand, and it's really, I take it, my first thing is a 6-week program. So we go baby steps. It's understanding, getting rid of the ultra processed foods that are causing inflammation, that's causing disease, that's causing blood sugar imbalances, also causing your hormones not to be optimized. I don't like to say balancing hormones, because you really can't balance hormones. It's how you optimize your hormones and how you optimize the inside of your body. And when we start looking at that, and then also looking at what I call non-scale victories, and not focusing on the scale, focusing on, how are you sleeping? How are you feeling? Is the bloating going away? Are the aches and pains going away? Is the brain fog going away? And start focusing on those baby steps and those little victories. That is how is a little bit different than men. Men are just like, hey, I'm doing this. And they're like, hey, I got my pant size. I went back down to my, my waist in high school. They don't care so much about the scale and don't put any weight in the scale. They put weight in how they feel, how much they're lifting, and how their clothes fit. Women have a little bit more, we have a little bit more baggage. We really do.
Men just want what I call they got the macho syndrome. And get me on the bench. How much can I bench today? I want to
Yes.
bench press. Like, dude, back up a little bit here. We're not in high school and college anymore. You
Yeah.
probably can't bench as much as you did when you was in high school or college. Probably
Yeah.
not. Not starting off, at least. Let's back it up a little bit and let's talk about what we're doing. All
And let's
right?
talk about form too, because your form may have not been that great, and that's why you were able to hike those weights
Yeah,
up.
exactly. And back then we can eat whatever we wanted to as well, which
Yeah.
is a whole different thing. All right. You had mentioned this a second ago, and I had this as one of my questions for you. What is your thought on counting calories?
I hate counting calories. I really do.
I just
I
my perfect match in the fitness world right here. How often have I said that? I hate counting calories. Oh my word.
calories don't mean anything. Calories mean how much water goes 1 degree up. It's like when we look at calories, okay, somebody will look at me and they'll send this like, well, it has great calories. I'm like, well, look at the ingredients. It has red number 40 and how many chemicals. And I don't even see anything that is real food in this thing, but it's a 100-calorie pack. Who cares? What our body doesn't care about it actually cares, but it doesn't care about calories. It cares about the nutrition. Our body is one huge chemical reaction and tons of chemical reactions. And when we're not giving it the right stuff, I mean, if you can go back to your chemistry days and you put stuff together and you hope things go boom, or you hope things that happen and you get this chemical reaction. Well, when you feed it subpar stuff, let's think about a car. I would like to say I'm like, a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or something. I need that ultra octane fuel. If I give it the crap fuel, it's not going to run. The cylinders are going to pop. Things, I'll be lucky if I get down a block. Same thing with our bodies. Our bodies are smart. It wants to survive. It will figure it out. We just don't realize how bad we feel when we fuel our bodies with all the crap. We don't realize that the headaches, that the inflammation, that the brain fog is a lot of times caused by what we are eating. And when you're just looking at that calories, it's like, oh, and my favorite is I gotta be less than 1,200 calories, which is absolute BS. And when you look at that, okay, so you could have 12 100-calorie packs of Oreos or whatever those things are back in the day in the 80s when it was Snackwells,
That's right.
fat free, right? It didn't matter because it was fat free. You're not looking at the macronutrients. Macronutrients mean how much protein, how much fat, how much carbohydrates your body is ingesting. When you do calories, you're just looking at that calorie content and not looking at what your body is taking in. And I'll have people like, but I eat clean. And I'm like, okay, so everything came from, you know, everything came from carbs. You had fruit, which was great. You had oatmeal, which is great. But where's the protein? Where's the fat? And there's that balance that you need to build muscle, to build to build hormones, so that your thyroid can function, so that your brain can function. So I hate calorie counting. Hate it.
Okay. All right. So and those who are listening to this podcast, you're not going to be able to see what I'm talking about. But if you're watching this, you see this light behind me on over my shoulder. It's because the sun is changing positions. I know this has nothing to do with fitness, but I just want to make this obvious here. Sun's changing positions, and the blind I had on my window fell down. So that's why there's blaring light behind me. Sorry about that. And I really can't change it now. So, all right, going back to what we're talking about here, calories. All right. So, and you also mentioned protein. So what's your thought on proteins? Do you count grams of proteins or anything
Yeah.
of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my clients learn how to track
That's nice.
macros. So they learned it, and most, especially females, don't get enough protein. They do not. And I'm going to tell you right now, protein does not cause kidney issues. And that's the biggest thing I get from so many people. It's like, but it'll make my kidneys. Okay, but what about the Snickers bar you just ate? What about the alcohol you drink every night? What about the sugar that is with every single meal? Those are the issues, not getting enough protein. And yeah, so I have them track protein. They learn how to track macros. They learn to track how much protein they need, how much carbs they need, how much fat they need.
Okay. I swear you are reading my notes because you
Oh,
keep hitting things I'm going to talk about next. My next thing was, what about sugar?
woo.
And here's why, because I like to say keep things as basic as possible when I talk to people. I say, listen, here's what you do. You cut out salt, or either cut out or cut back on salt, cut back or cut out sugar, drink more water. Let's get
Mhm,
those things going, and then we'll talk about adding protein later on. Let's get that
mhm.
under control. That's how I build it up. So my
Yeah.
next thing to you is ask you about sugar. So, but you already mentioned sugar, but what's your thoughts on sugar?
So sugar in moderation. Okay. And what I'll get is like, but fruit. Okay. Fruit is natural sugar. I'm talking about added sugar. So sugar that's added to food. And if you get ultra processed foods, those have a lot of added sugar. So that's where we have issues is the amount of added sugar that we have added to our food, all our food.
Hmm.
And that's what causes, it's not just sugar that causes diabetes, but that also causes issues. It causes inflammation, causes chronic inflammation, which promotes disease. So, a cookie now and then, no problem. It's when you have it consistently and when you're eating the prepackaged easy food that, look at it. Look how many grams of sugar. My husband and I went to Costco and we're like, hey, here's chicken salad. It can't be that bad. And he always gives me like, here, look at it first. Cause he knows that I'm going to look at why is there high fructose corn syrup in chicken salad? Why? This thing had 15 grams of sugar, and it's something that
Oh,
you would not even realize that has sugar. So you do have to look at the ingredients. If it's something that's, if it's fruit, of course, that's going to have sugar. That's okay. But when you're looking at food or prepared food and it says, it said high protein, great. But, let's not mention all the other crap that's in it and be more diligent about reading those labels so that you can see how much sugar you're putting in your body.
hmm hmm okay. And this is one you didn't touch on. So now I know you're
Oh,
not reading my notes. Okay, this is good. All right. And I bring this up now to a lot of my guests I talk about, because up until maybe a year, maybe 2 years ago, I really didn't take a whole lot of interest in this too much. But I started doing this maybe once a week. I do a 24-hour fast.
mm,
And the I'm not going to get into the reasons why I did it, but I saw a documentary once, and then I interviewed somebody else a few years ago. We talked about
mhm.
it. It's it's interesting to me. So once a week, do I do it every week? No, but when I do, I try to do a 24-hour fast. And for me personally, once I started doing it, I started feeling a lot better, and I
Mhm,
started noticing that my body functions, and I was sleeping better. And that's just
mhm.
me. So what my question to you is, what's your feelings on fasting?
So the program I coach, we do intermittent fasting. So a what's called a 16-8 protocol, 12-12 protocol, or 14-10 protocol. That means you eat for a certain amount of time and then you have what's called digestive rest for a matter of time. Most fasting studies have been done in men. So the problem sometimes with women, especially in perimenopause, menopause age, fasting for 24 hours is that actually increases our cortisol levels. And so where we can get the benefits with intermittent fasting, we can get the benefits of fasting, which is decrease insulin resistance, increase insulin sensitivity, autophagy, which is the cell turnover and building new cells, all the benefits without stressing our bodies. So men a lot of times do real well. I mean, and some people some people I coach, we do give them the option to do 24-hour fast. But it's one of those things. It has to be individualized because it works for some people and then other people it doesn't, especially females who have a not good so relationship with food and use fasting as a tool, I won't say a tool, as a diet, because intermittent fasting is not a diet, it's a tool that you use. And if they're using fasting as a makeup for all the quote unquote bad stuff I ate today, I'm just not going to eat. That's not healthy either. So we want to make sure that there's a balance and that you're doing it for the right reasons.
That is awesome. And I personally don't use it as a diet, but when you said it, I'm like, you know what? The more I'm thinking about it, when I talk to people, or I should when I talk about when I hear people say it, it is used more as a diet. And you're
Mhm.
right, it's not a diet. And
Mm-mm.
and me personally, I don't use it as a diet. So when I say I do that, it's once again, I'm not going to get into it. It's boring. I do it on my own on my own show, so I don't have to bore you. I just bore myself with it. Speaking of my own show, one of the things I did is I went to your YouTube page, and you're gonna plug everything you got here in just a second. I love what you have as one of your quotes you have on there. It says, "I help you age backwards, kick diabetes, decrease blood pressure, and balance hormones." That's fantastic. Right to the point. I mean, everything power packed in one statement. So that's great. So, all right. For right now, I got a couple more questions, but go ahead and start plugging everything that you got. Where can people find you and all the different programs that you have?
Well, I definitely need to work on the YouTube channel. That's kind of fallen by the wayside. But my website is what I've been really working on, in my Instagram. So you can find everything though on my website, and that's www.amykwilson.com. You can find all my social media handles there. All the quick links are there. My blog is there. And if you want a free download, you can go to www.amykwilson.com/podcast to get a free download. And if you would like to have a free 30-minute conversation with me, you can either go to my website or just go directly to callwithamy.live. That's callwithamy.live. And you can set up a free 30-minute conversation, no obligations.
Well, fantastic. And I'll have all those links in the show notes. So if you're watching or listening to this, don't worry about writing everything down. It'll be clickable links in all the show notes and everything else. Okay. One of the things that you had is something called, and also I read this at the beginning when I butchered everything, but I read it, is the Faster Way to Fat Loss platform.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a program that you have? Or
so I coach using a platform called the Faster Way to Fat Loss. And how I found it was I was not in a good place menopause wise. I was gaining weight, gaining inches, trying to do everything out there, and here I am, a pharmacist, a fitness professional. I have tried everything and knew better, but I was like, hey, let me try this. Let me try that. Let me try that. I was kind of like grabbing at straws because, females, and everybody knows, when you get to a certain point, you're like, oh my gosh, what the heck is going on? And why can't I solve this myself? It was very, very, very frustrating. And I had seen a couple of friends who were doing this program called the Faster Way to Fat Loss. And I really was watching them to fail. I was watching them to see that they would not be doing what, they looked great. And I'm like, okay, let's see where you are in 6 months. So I watched them for over a year because I'm that kind of person who tries to poke holes in everything, because at that time I thought, oh, you know what? I know everything. I'm a fitness professional, pharmacist. I have other nutrition certifications. Why is nothing working for me? So I threw a Hail Mary pass, thought, hey, I'm going to try this. I had no expectations whatsoever. And it worked. It was science-backed. It was taking myself from a sugar burner to a fat burner. It was building muscle. I was working out too much. I taught fitness classes. I was teaching too much. I was not eating enough. I was doing all the things now that I tell people that was the problem, because I was experiencing it firsthand of not eating enough, not building muscle, doing too much cardio. I blew my back out at 29. I was a cardio bunny forever. And you'd think I would learn. I didn't. And it wasn't until in my 40s and 50s realizing that, hey, all these classes I'm teaching are not building muscle. They aren't. And I was not eating enough. And I fell in love with this program that I'm like, you know what? I need to coach others, and I need to coach others with this program, because it is all included. The workouts, you can do it at home or at the gym. You have me as a coach. It's learning how to eat, it's learning how to track macros. It's really kind of, I would say, healing your body from the inside out. So it is a phenomenal program. And I use that program because I thought about coming up with something on my own. I could never do what they do. And it's just, it's an amazing having that, that backing me as a coach. It makes me an even better coach.
Okay. So this is not a program that you developed. This is a program that
I use.
Used. Okay. And it's Faster Way to Fat Loss, and we'll link to it in the description as well and everything else. So
it's in my website. So if they go to my website, they can hit learn more or join now, and they can get all the information.
Fantastic. Now, Amy, I only asked for about a half hour time. I know we're a little bit over, so I apologize for that. But my word, this has been fantastic, and I don't know if you felt it, but my word, it's like you're reading my notes, and we're like two peas in a pod. At least I feel like it. You might get
on the same page.
Absolutely. So I'll stop it here. But once again, you're always welcome to come back.
Oh, yes.
Folks, if you're watching please look at all the links. Go follow Amy and gee, this is great. And it's amykwilson.com. Make sure you get over there and check it out. So, all right. So I'm reserving the right to have you back one of these days. So there
Oh,
you
please.
go.
I look forward to it. This has been a lot of fun.
Fantastic. All right, folks. Thanks for being here. I'm Andrew. I'm the face who runs the place here at Top Fitness Strategies with my not my good nutrition fitness friend, the geriatric pharmacist herself, the board certified geriatric pharmacist herself, Amy Wilson, amykwilson.com. Check it out. So until next time, this is me and Amy. Ciao.